Well, Skip, I think if you look at all 32 teams, obviously the team we're talking about, the team that's in playoff contention or can make the possible playoffs, or maybe even be in Super Bowl contenders. Everybody has weaknesses. But I saw something against the Texans, and I came out here the next day and I said, Skip, I see something that's alarming. The Texans, and everybody said, Shannon, it was a short week. You know, a short week.
Who's everybody?
You. You.
Okay.
You, because you talk about week. Hold on. Let me finish. Because we were looking at down the schedule, who could cause them a problem, who could hang the first loss on the Eagles. And I'm saying, Skip, a team that can run the football. And I named the team. I said, Washington can run the football with those two backs, yada, yada, yada.
Oh, did you pick Washington?
No, I didn't pick
Washington. I don't remember that. Okay, go ahead.
The problem is stopping the run. Since Jordan Davis, the big DT out of Georgia, they gave up 168. They gave up 162. Now, the earliest he can return is against the Tennessee Titans. We know what Tennessee can do. And that was the problem last night. So now you can't stop the run. Now he play action you. Now he made McLaurin, those guys make some tough catches. But there were some catches that guys were open because you're so worried about the run, guys are not able to get to their proper depth. And Heineke, give him to his credit, he hung in there. He made some big-time throws.
He did.
Skip, look. And what I don't get about the Eagles, 4 rushes in the first half. Now, it seems to me, now maybe it was just early in the game, but it looks like to me A.J. Brown was nicked. And so the Eagles say, you know what?
He got nicked on an early catch where he came out of his break, and it looked like he pulled his calf or something.
So I'm looking at the game and say, okay, so you thought the best, like A.J. Brown, our best receiver, he's hurt.
Yep.
So the best thing for us to do is to ask Jalen Hurts to drop back and throw the ball more. You are a running football team. Most of your success comes off of RPOs. To ask Jalen Hurts, and he has improved throwing the football, Skip, but to ask him to drop back and just sling it, you're setting yourself up for trouble. 4 carries, Skip, 4 rushes in the first half. With a running team, a top 5, top 6 rush team, you got 4 carries in the first half. To Washington credit, they did a great job, Skip. You're going to lose a game. You have 21 third down attempts, and you allow the team to convert over half of those, you're probably going to lose. You let the team possess the ball double the amount of time that you have it, you're probably going to lose the ball. You allow a team to run 34 more plays, you're probably going to lose the game. So Philly did a lot of things. I don't know what the hell Quez Watkins was thinking, Skip. Why the hell he go to the ground? Let me tell you why. Because here's a guy that's unsure of his hands. He's like, I got to make sure I catch this football.
That is correct.
So all they do is keep running. He going to run up under the ball, run into the end zone. But he's unsure of his hands. He goes to the ground. He gets up.
Then he was further unsure of his hands because he didn't hang on to the ball when he got stripped from behind.
Skip, you went to the ground. The DB that was covering you, he didn't go to the ground.
He did not.
So where do you think he's going to be at when you get up and you put the ball right here? He come great. To his credit, man, he beat me. Let me get this. Make the chop. Ball comes out. One of his teammates recover the football, head back the other way. The Eagles did a lot of things, Skip. Look, they better fix this. They better fix this run game, this stopping the run. They better stop the run. Because if you don't, guess who else is on their schedule? Everybody, look at the team that's on their schedule, Skip. All these teams can run the football. Their recipe is not throwing the ball with Jalen Hurts. Their recipe, Skip, they ran 1 RPO last night. It was for a touchdown. You know, the little jump pass, he faked it. He go quarterback draw, and he jumps up and hit Goddard. Other than that, he's just dropping back and throwing the ball.
They ran some zone reads. I don't know what you call an RPO, but go ahead.
But Skip, look, I don't want to overreact, but I do see the Eagles until they get Big Jordan Davis back that can stop that run. They're gonna. Hey, now teams are looking at them like, hold on, Washington's not that good. Now you got to give my homeboy 5 Chain some credit. Because my homeboy was down 10 points to them on the road. And we ain't got that thing, didn't he? He didn't get it. I'll doing it right now. You keep talking.
Well, you want to?
Keep talking and want to see what I do.
Go ahead. Go ahead. I'll take it right now.
You gonna give me the 2 points?
No.
Oh, you're scared?
Heck no. How is my team a favorite at Minnesota?
Of your conviction.
Wait a second. Maybe the odds makers got no use for Kurt 5 Chains, right?
You will after the game.
Okay, my turn. I have doubted the Eagles' defense all year long. I don't doubt Big Play Slay because he's right at the top of my cornerback list this year, although that guy in Green Bay is pretty great. He did quite a job and a number on my team on Sunday in Green Bay. But the point is, I do think they are suspect on defense. I do think you can get them on defense, and they got last night because Washington is a talented football team. I don't care what you say. They go as their quarterback goes because that's really the way every team goes as its quarterback goes. And every once in a while, it kind of goes from day to night to night to day. Little Heineke can light you up.
He can get hot.
And he was fairly hot last night. At least he didn't do too much to hurt them. He did throw one ill-advised pick, and he got stripped and strip-sacked at one point. But in the big picture, I thought he played well enough to win the game.
He made some big-time throws, though.
Big-time throws and some big third-down throws. They can run the ball because they have some talented running backs who run hard. They run as hard as that Houston kid runs.
Yeah, Pierce.
Yeah, and so the point is, when you have somebody like McLaurin, listen, he is big time to me. And he rose and shone last night on Monday Night Football, and he was lighting them up, and he was telling them all about it. You can't cover me, and you can't cover me. And
he wasn't lying.
He wasn't lying because I fear him as a Cowboy fan, and I do respect his talent because we saw his talent in college. And there was a reason he went that high in the draft, and there's a reason that he's had a lot of big games in this league. So he's a legit force to me. And so they are a legit team that you can't take lightly. And I thought the Eagles came out on Monday Night Football like, okay, here we are, we got this. And for the first time all year, the ball didn't bounce their way.
Yes.
They got some bad breaks on bad bounces. There was one, I'm about to get to it, egregiously missed call on a face mask that changed the game, I thought. But the point is, there's sheepthink operating in the National Football League. So it felt like Ron Rivera sat back on Sunday, and he's watching what's transpiring. And what happened with Aaron Rodgers and Tom Brady, the two elder statesmen, the two all-timers? What did their teams decide to do this past Sunday?
Run the football.
They just decided, we're going to go run heavy. We're going to run it more than we throw it. And Ron Rivera, old school Chicago Bear that he is, I think he just said, you know what? That's right. Why didn't I think of that?
He wants to run it anyway, though.
Yeah, but he does. But again, the point is that all of a sudden it's like, oh, run it and play defense. Oh, that's an old school formula that used to work. Right. Nobody does it anymore. But all of a sudden he comes out and he does it. And as Jen mentioned, they run the ball 49 times. They didn't run it that well because they only averaged 3.1 yards per rush, which usually might get you beat if you can only rush it for 3.1. But the point was they were timely rushes because they kept making first downs on close third downs.
Well, when it's 31 and you get 2 yards, that's all you need. So you're not going to have no big average, but you're going to get the clean.
Now back to your point, 12 of 21 on third down. Well, it's amazing you'd have 21 third down tries in a game. That's
crazy.
And you convert over half of them. What's the percentage on that? 57%. It's too good. That's how you win the game, which down to, as Jen mentioned, time of possession. It's 40 minutes to 20 minutes. It means that Jalen Hurts and company, even though A.J. looked nicked, but he's still got Devontae, even though all that was going on, if you only give Jalen Hurts the ball for 20 minutes at home, you got a real shot because 20 minutes isn't very long. Look at the plays in the game. Would you believe it's 81 to 47? So think of this. Washington runs the plays 81 times. They get the ball and run a play 81 times to only 47 for the home team. That's how you go win or steal a football game in Philadelphia against an 8-0 team. Skip, and they did it.
Skip, you know what? When you look at the Eagles are a first-half team. You look at them, they average 19 points, 234 yards in the first half.
Yep.
They're down to under 8 in the second half and almost 100 fewer yards. So what they're doing is that they're trying to pile on you in the first half, blow the doors off you, and then they coast it home. Because if you look at them in the second quarter, how many more points in the second quarter they scored than their opponent. So that's when they really blow the game open. And so they're kind of on cruise control. Washington said, nah, we're going to be in the lead in the first half. We're going to make you play catch up. We're going to make you put you in a situation because what do they always do, Skip? They always go to the half with the lead. Last night was the first time they didn't have the lead. So now we're in an unfamiliar situation. Now what do we do?
Okay, and last night was the first time all year that they didn't take it away more than they gave it away.
Yeah, and they damn sure gave it away last night.
Shall we count the ways? Let's see Jalen Hurts' first interception that he threw, his only interception of the night. Let's see what happened on this play. It's a deep ball to A.J. Brown. And I thought it was right on the money.
It went through his arm.
It went right through his hands. It went through a lot of hands and wound up in the wrong hands. If we could see this play, I don't know if we have the back angle of it. You can just see it. It goes right through A.J. Brown's hands. He has two hands on the football, and somehow he sort of juggles it up in the air. And the Reds, I almost called them the old name because I grew up doing this. The Commanders, DB just snatched it right away from him. Well, it's
Buffalo. That's the
Buffalo. It's the Buffalo play. And it's partially just bad luck. It's the bounce of the oblong football. I don't know what it's going to do because it's a weird shape and it kind of goes up in the air and all of a sudden Washington comes down with it. And it's a huge play because it's a momentum crusher and builder for the visiting team, right? Mm-hmm. Okay, now let's go to the egregious missed face mask play. This is early in the fourth quarter. This is a short completion to Dallas Goedert. If we could see what happened. And I don't know if we have the
There's a side judge right there. There's a back judge. And don't nobody throw the flag.
Here we go.
Skip, I mean, come on.
Look, he's standing right there.
Back judge. That's your judge. I mean, what are you looking at?
Did you
look at the side
freeze?
judge.
Did you freeze?
Look at the side judge.
How could you? We got one ref staring it down. It is as hard a grab and tug as I have ever seen on a face mask. It's not, sometimes you get a little piece and you try to let go, but he grabbed and he yanked.
Yes.
He yanked. It was a dangerous play because the neck comes into play on that one.
Yes.
And Goddard stayed down for a couple of minutes. I thought he was hurt.
This week, Skip, was not the ref's finest moment. It was brought to their attention that Buffalo had 12 men on the field on one of the plays that they stopped Minnesota. 12?
How can you not catch that? Listen, I tweeted about this last night. This is our greatest spectator sport. This is the game you and I love the most. We love the NBA, but this is it, man. This is America.
Yeah.
And you have to be better than that.
Yeah.
They did. They had a bad weekend, and culminating with that play last night, it's a game changer because the score is still it's 23-21 Washington at that point.
Yes.
And it just felt like they couldn't stop Philly, but Philly hadn't had the ball very much. In fact, it got to be mid-third quarter, and Philly had the ball for 7.5 minutes to 37 minutes. Well, that's almost impossible, but they had pulled that off.
Correct.
So now early in the fourth quarter, if that gets called and you tack on 15, well, okay, here you go. And I don't doubt that they're going to go down and score. I just don't have any doubt because I believe in Jalen Hurts. Okay, so that's just it's a bad break. It's a badly missed call. It's a crusher on the momentum, and that leads to the play that you brought up, and it's the Quez Watkins play. Let's see it one more time. It's a nice throw by Jalen Hurts. I'm not saying it's the greatest throw ever, but it's good enough that he could keep running with it.
Skippy, just run up on it.
Good enough. Just catch it and run.
Why did he leave his feet?
Because he doesn't trust himself. You know what? We saw it with Scotty Miller, and I'm not comparing Scotty Miller to Quez Watkins because Quez is better. But I'm just saying Scotty Miller has to leave his feet on a ball that nobody's around to guard. You can back into the end zone.
You saw it the week before in the end zone.
I know.
He jumps on a ball that's going to hit him right here, and he jumps to catch it in his bread bag.
Because you're jumping like, I'm going to max out my chances of trying to cling to this football. And Quez said, it's Monday Night Football. It's under the lights.
Yep.
We're coming back. I got to make sure I catch this when I secure it, and I'm going to go to the ground to secure it, which he did.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, he jumps up because he might still be running if he just catches it, runs with it.
Yeah, he's running in, but it's a touchdown.
Okay, but he jumps up, and at least he could have gotten it down to the 20-ish. And you know what happened? As you said, the DB he didn't go down. He just trailed him and stripped him.
I think Quez forgot that, damn, I went to the ground. The DB didn't go to the ground. He's going to be right there. And at that point in time, what else do I have to do? Tackling him is not enough. Let me see if I can chop and get the ball out.
Well, he chopped.
And got the ball out.
And he pretty much chopped Philly's off because that was the end of that.
Yes.
That crushed them psychologically. And then finally, I hope we have do we have the Brandon Graham play? I forgot. I don't think I requested it, but at the end, we do have it. Let's see it quickly.
What is Graham thinking, Skip?
I don't know. He's a 13-year veteran. He's overamped. He's trying to get Jalen the ball back. And he said after the game, I thought he might jump up and run.
He can. He gave himself up.
He gave himself up, and the ref is trying to, I don't know if he'd actually blown the whistle, but he's waving his arms.
Yes.
And then the other problems, according to the ref after the game, that's the head referee, that Brandon Graham went to the head and neck to make sure he kept him down.
Brandon, if that's the case, so when a quarterback's running and sliding, you think he can pop back up?
No.
He gave himself up. He just gave himself up.
Knee to ground.
He basically, all he did was give himself up behind the line of scrimmage, as opposed to sliding past the line of scrimmage.
Yeah.
So I'm looking, I'm like, bro, what are you doing? And everybody, obviously Philly fans, and on the Sirianni, and I see Jalen Hurts, he's like, you got to be, no, that's the rule. The guy gives himself up, Skip. It's just like anything. If I'm a wide receiver, I can give myself up. I can catch a pass and go take a knee. I gave myself up. You can't touch me.
If Brandon Graham was in his first or second year, you'd say, oh, well.
Yes.
But he's 13 years, and he had a big Super Bowl game against Brady.
Yes.
Remember, he was all over. He sacked Brady at the end of the game.
It was a strip sack.
Yeah, it was a strip sack. So I think they all were overamped trying to get Jalen the ball back because they do believe in him. And I think they thought with a couple of minutes left, he could go make a miracle and pull it out.
It's going to be like 140 left on the clock, use a timeout. So you got 140 to possibly go down the field, score a touchdown, and you're in the lead.
I would have liked their chances.
Yes.
And he crushed their chances, and it was over the moment he ran into little Taylor Heineke, and that was the end of that thing. And Jalen went on the bench, just went crazy. I can't even repeat some of the things he was screaming because he knew there went 9-0, there went whatever and 0.
Skip, the longer you leave a mediocre team in a game, the more confidence they're going to get. The Eagles are not supremely talented enough. The reason why they were 9-0 is because, as you mentioned, they had 3 turnovers in their first 8 games. They turned it over 3 times. They had taken away. I think, if I'm not mistaken, Skip, they were plus 15, plus 16.
They were leading
in the takeover battle.
Both takeaways and the turnover ratio.
Giveaway.
Yeah.
So when you look at it like that, you leave a team in that. Trust me, I know. We played the Giants. We 13-0, Skip, on the road.
Yep.
Here we are in the third quarter, and it's a nip-tuck ball game, as opposed to us going here and handling our business. And look at that, oh, man, we ain't got, they too tough. We go to the fourth quarter, guess what? It's a nip-tuck ball game. They feel they still got a chance. Washington on Monday night, hold on, we got the lead.
Yep.
Man, it's less than 3 minutes.
Which year did you lose that game?
98.
Oh, so that was the
second of the back-to-back.
Okay.
Yeah, 13-0. And we have been, we kind of been skating. We had Kansas City.
Do you remember what the score was approximately?
I think we ended up getting the lead. And Kent Graham went 87 yards in 3 plays through like a 40-yard
quarterback for the Giants.
For the Giants. Yep. I think we lost 21-16, something like that.
Okay. All right. So it was still
it was clear. It was a close ball game. Yeah, but we were averaging like 33 points a game. And here we are in the fourth quarter, Skip, and we only got 13-14.
Okay. So that begs the final question here. A.J. Brown was quoted after the game as saying, I'm just glad that 17-0 SH is over with. Yeah. Like we need to focus now on what the next game at hand. So were you glad that what would have been 16-0 SH was over with?
Well, it'd have been 14-0. Skip.
14.
We started at 13-0. All
right.
Skip, maybe it's just me, Skip. For me, our goal was the Super Bowl. All this, undefeated. Skip, Mike never, when we laid out the goals at the beginning of the year.
Mike Shannon.
Mm-hmm. He never said anything about 16-0.
Well, who would?
Skip, win your division.
Yep.
Get home field throughout,
Yep.
and we'll go from there. I didn't even know who we were playing. Mike, we won the first game, and then the next week, that'd be the next opponent. He didn't have the whole schedule of everybody that we're playing. Yep. It was 1 week at a time.
Okay.
4 quarters. We tried to win all 4 quarters.
I can't remember. Did you finish?
We finished 14-2.
Okay.
We went 14-2.
You lost.
We lost the following week on Monday night to Miami.
Oh yeah.
And then we came back, beat Seattle. The final game of the season. TD needed 177 yards to get 2,000.
Yep.
So we got him back. Mm-hmm. We felt good going into
And you had home.
We had home field throughout. Now Miami had beat us on that Monday night. Skip, you all saw how they were celebrating. Pat Surtain and Dolly. I think it was T-Buck, Terrell Buckley. It was Sam Madison.
Yep.
It was Skip. They was over there dancing. And I told the guy, I said, we'll see him again.
And
we'll see him again.
And
38-3.
whew, okay, there you go. You got a cold?
No, we'll see you again. I said, where that dancing at? I said, ain't nobody dancing there. What the disco ball? I said, y'all was dancing. Remember that Monday night? Told y'all go see us again.
Well, I wonder if the Eagles will see Washington again in the postseason.
Well, they better hope they get that big DT
the way
back.
Washington's playing, they're going to make the playoffs.
Jordan Davis.
Yeah.
There's a reason why he 350 skipping goggles, taking up a whole lane of traffic.
All I know is that the door just got reopened.
Guess what? And Five Chains about to close it.
No.
Watch your Five Chains.
No.
And so you see what they try to do? They try to steal Five Chains. You see the defensive players, what they did to Heineken? All the defensive players put all their chains on him. They can't steal Five Chains. They can't steal Five Chains.
No, that's the Vikings ritual. It will not work. There's no magic for that in Washington. But I was happy for Washington because something good happened to them.
They might need to do something for Dak. Y'all might need to do something for Dak. What y'all gonna do for him?
Sitting there at 8-1,
He's off
guys.
the chain.
Next up for these Philadelphia Eagles, they've got the Colts, the Packers, and the Titans. Thanks for watching, Undisputed fans. Subscribe here to get the very latest from Skip and Shannon. Plus, go watch a few segments from our other shows on FS1.